Hello guys, I still remember my humble self Chwokobilago, okay, and I'm doing this short video, okay, to buttress the point of the admin is making, okay, the TBC admin is making on why we are fighting a battle against the elites, okay. We all know that out of the 100% people in existence, 1% controls the wealth of the world. So most of them control it behind the shadows. So most times you don't see them. Most times they are represented by CEOs and top government officials. Okay, and their aim is to keep that 1% in power financially. Okay, now this year between 2008 and thanks to Bitcoin till date, okay, decentralized currency have proven to become viable. Okay, cryptocurrency have proven to become viable and a tool that can take away um, power from the elite. But guess what? Guess what? It's not within the manipulation. It's not. It's always within the manipulation of the elites. Okay, and I'll show you why in this write-up. And this is why I still recommend that everyone who is interested in cryptocurrency should participate in the TBC movement, because TBC is so far the only currency I know that can turn things around and give power to the people against the elites. Okay, give power to the 99% against the elite. So I'm just going to read this short write-up. Okay, I got it from Facebook, but it's written by hackerknown.com. Okay, and it's titled "The Empire Strikes Back with a Coordinated War on Crypto." So everybody know who has watched Star Wars know Darth Vader. Okay, so let's go straight to the point. Okay, so I'm going to read this out. On September 1st, 2017, Bitcoin roared to a new all-time high, touching the $5,000 mark for the first time in history, and then the bottom fell out. While Twitterverse crypto enthusiasts called the sudden drop a natural correction, it quickly became clear there was nothing natural about it. Notice that this was written in italics to emphasize that there was nothing natural about it. Over the course of 2 weeks, Bitcoin and every other crypto, when I talk about every other crypto, I mean cryptocurrencies listed that are derive their value from the market, okay, that are being traded in exchanges, okay. So TBC is not among these cryptos, okay, that are affected. So Bitcoin and every other crypto faced a sustained assault of relentless negative press designed to crash the price, spread fear, and destroy the trust in decentralized money. Okay, and it wasn't random at all. Okay, so these people, okay, did a coordinated attack against Bitcoin and every other crypto, and the coins they can affect are those, okay, who are listed in the coin market, no, that can be traded. You understand? So it wasn't random at all. It was a coordinated attack on crypto. You to understand why, you just have to know a little about the history of power in the world. Okay, so the empire strikes back. David Smoke, the king of Hackerknown, called decentralized cryptocurrency this decade's iconic battle of government versus business. Okay, you can see his Twitter account. But it's more than that. It's not a battle between business and government. It's a battle between the centralized empires of the world, okay, and the decentralized rebel alliance of everyday people, an internal battle. So cryptocurrency is giving back power financially to the people, okay, removing all the middlemen, all the banks, all the hedge funds, all these people, giving power back to the people to decide what they will do with their money, to decide what they will do with their data, okay? and TBC is also giving back power to the people. Okay, but in this case, okay, the empire, this 1% elite, are now taking the battle to cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency is the hope of the common man. Now, it's not just a battle, it is a war. It's been raging since humans first crawled out of the primordial swamp. It's a battle of freedom versus control, okay? Versus control. Power to the people versus power of a select group of elites who have kept their jackboot on the face of humanity for thousands of years. Each generation must face the fight anew, like a pendulum that swings back and forth forever and ever. When the world goes too far in one direction, it must swing back in the other. Today, over-centralization is a disease. Okay? Over-centralization is a disease. The pendulum only has one way to go. But centralized empires don't give up easily. Like Gollum clutching the dark ring, they will do anything to hold on to that precious power at all costs. It's not even about what's good or right, it's about power for the sake of power. Okay, if you all know what Gollum is, if you've watched Lord of the Rings or if you watched The Hobbit, Smeagol, that's what they call Gollum, okay, clutching to the dark ring. Okay, so that's how these people want power badly. They want to control us. Okay, they want to control the 99% of the world. Okay, now at first the Dark Lords of the world don't pay much attention to ragtag bands of rebels. They are scattered and disconnected. But when they sack a trade ship or take a city, and suddenly the entire Sauron turns. And now the eye has turned towards cryptos. The Dark Lord's playbook is simple, but devastatingly effective. Okay, what he was trying to explain here is in the Lord of the Rings. If you've watched the movie, okay, when the people decided to fight against the Dark Lord, okay, he wasn't paying attention to them before. He now turned his attention to make sure that these people are decimated. Okay, so the Dark Lord's playbook is simple but devastatingly effective. Co-opt, coerce, corrupt, outlaw, and kill. And many of these were on full display the last weeks. First, it started with China, okay, corrupt and coerce. First, they lashed out at RCOs, okay, declaring them illegal fundraising, okay. Of course, many applauded the move, while ICOs represent a revolutionary new way to crowdsource funding, okay. If you've been following my videos, you know I've talked about ICO. ICO means initial coin offering, similar to IPOs done by companies who are listed on the stock market. Okay, and ICOs have proven to be a way for companies, okay, with proven vision and agenda, with proven track record, with people sitting on their board, okay, able to raise funds through crowdfunding. Okay. So while ICOs represent a revolutionary new way to crowdsource funding, okay, moving beyond the straitjacket of accredited investors and VC money, the space was rampant with scams and questionable projects. While the crypto market initially reacted with a short drop, very quickly the trading public saw the move as positive. Bitcoin bounced right back up. They assumed China would make the freeze only temporary and provide better guidance to protect investors with sensible legislation. But they were wrong. It was only the opening shot in a new wave of information warfare. Over the next few weeks, news became a deliberate, coordinated drip of terrifying information designed to derange the market and spread panic. Instead of China regulatory news breaking all at once, instead of the China regulatory news breaking all at once like a normal story does, it kept dripping out in leaks and press releases and planted stories. Soon, a story dropped in the Wall Street Journal citing only unnamed sources familiar with the matter that China planned to shutter all crypto exchanges. Now the panic really set in, the sell-off started in earnest. Okay? So if you click this video shows Bitmain's trade floor, but I just skipped that. Okay, still many pro traders were calling for HODL, like aka also known as holding your position and waiting for the price to correct back up. Most traders, including me, took the rational position that China would never ban exchanges because it made no sense for them to do it. We should have known better. Leaks don't just happen in authoritarian regimes. The regulatory groups and circles of power meet in secret in smoke-filled rooms behind closed doors. The people in those circles are chosen carefully for clannishness and absolute loyalty. Real leaks get people killed. The only leaks are deliberate ones. While the rumors swelled, the big three exchanges reacted with caution, saying that they have received no official word from the People's Bank of China. But all the optimism wouldn't last. Despite the fact that closing down crypto exchanges will only drive trading underground, rob the Chinese government of tax revenues, and crater the ability to enforce KYC, also known as Know Your Customer, the PBOC, that is the People's Bank of China, moved swiftly to attack exchanges. Right on schedule with the stream of negative news, the PBOC released a statement attacking the exchanges for running without a license. Now suddenly, those exchanges that ran for years without issues need a made-up license to operate. You see, Chinese law doesn't work like Western law. Although the Chinese constitution provides legal, executive, and judicial powers, they are all subject to the whim of the Communist Party. This party is supreme. Courts and regulatory bodies don't need to follow any of those frameworks in deciding the cases. China runs by rule of man, not rule of law. Essentially, it means that regulators can change the rules whenever they feel like, and that's exactly what they did here. In classic rule of man style, the statement was overly broad, vague, and subject to interpretation any way they saw fit. A staple of bad lawmaking. Just drop it into Google Translate to see. Now, the panic really set in as traders dumped faster and faster. Classic trader memes flowed fast and furious from top crypto Twitter accounts. Okay, a few days later, the first major exchanges, BTCC, announced it will suspend trading. A day later, the other two, Oakcoin and Huobi, said they will meet with regulators. The day after that, they announced their own suspension by the end of October. All hell broke loose. Bitcoin posted the largest one-day red candle in history as traders everywhere sold everything as fast as they could in a stampede of panic. And if it was just China news driving the market, there wouldn't be enough to call it a coordinated attack on crypto. The Chinese government has flirted with cracking down on Bitcoin in the past and even closed exchanges, but this time it was different. Hot on the heels of Chinese story, a storm of negative press flooded the interwebs. Out of nowhere, the CEO of JP Morgan, a company known for investing in blockchain technology, called Bitcoin a fraud that's worse than Tulip. A few days later, JP Morgan's lead quant backed this attack called cryptocurrencies pyramid schemes. Soon after, CNBC was trotting out economist Mohamed Arian to say Bitcoin should be worth half what it was trading at, and that it will never achieve mainstream adoption. Essentially, the same argument they use against internet, video games, e-books, and digital cameras. Now, the prices of every single crypto was circling the drain, driven down by the relentless assault of information warfare. Innovative Chinese platforms like Neo took some of the biggest beatings. But why now? On the surface, none of this makes sense. The blockchain space has been booming, investor money flooding in. While there are certainly a number of useless projects out there, the space is filled with startups who will revolutionize everything from neighbors trading solar energy among themselves to supply chain management with heavy hitters like IBM and the Apache Foundation backing the technology. So I'm just going to summarize this because it's long, okay? So guerrilla warfare, for years, cryptocurrencies have ripped along, mostly under the radar. Every verbal assault on coins were weak and didn't do much to dampen enthusiasm among adherents to crypto creed. Back in 2013, when the first attack started, the market cap of Bitcoin was tiny, a mere speck of global economic pie. It traded at $10 to 20 cents to $20, not much of a centralized empire to worry about at all. So I'm just going to stop here, okay? I'm just going to stop here. So if you can go to hackermoon.com, you will get this information. But I just did this to make those people who don't understand TBC and the way TBC is operating, and those who are complaining that TBC is not listed in the coin market. This would have happened to us, okay? This would have happened to us, assuming we are listed on the coin market, okay? Assuming we derive our value from trading, from market forces, okay? This would have happened to us. Now we are enjoying the fact that we are close to 1 million members. Now we are enjoying the fact that TBC is ever booming, okay? And imagine this, assuming we are listed on the market cap, that this happened, we would have crashed below what we are now. A lot of people would have left, left with their money. But I'm glad the admin knows the secret of the elite and knows how to play the game with the elite. And that's why, if you're listening to this, if you're a member, if you're no member, take TBC serious, okay? This is the only coin I know, okay? This is the only coin I know that we can use to fight the battle against the elite. And the only way we can achieve that is to have more numbers of people using this, okay? If we take TBC serious, we can push this beyond the point that the elite cannot touch us, okay? And that's why the admin is running TBC the way it is, under the radar, steadily with improvement, not listed in the coin market, but gradually gaining value based on the number of members who use the coin or who own the coin. So I'll just stop this here. You can read up the whole story on hackermoon.com, and I believe the admin will post this so that people will understand why TBC is the best cryptocurrency to get involved with. All right, thank you all for listening. Have a great day. Love you all.